2024 presidential candidate Ron DeSantis arguing his case to Bill Maher for why he's a better choice than former President Trump. Here with their take is New Jersey GOP voter David Sypher, New York City mother and Democrat voter Daniela Souza Egorov, and Republican voter and retired police and firefighter Patrick McManus. It's a pleasure to have you guys on here.
Good to have you.
Thank you for being here. I just want to get this off the top because we're going to talk about two candidates now, but there are two people that are running for president. If you were voting today, who would vote for President Trump? If you were voting today, who would vote for President Biden? So we got at least one undecided and a couple that may be persuaded. We don't know. I want to ask you about Ron DeSantis. I would imagine you guys watched the debate and saw that. Yeah. Ron DeSantis really points out two things. And Pat, I'll go to you first since you said you're voting for Trump. He says he has a better record on COVID, and he says that he's the only one that can actually get elected. What do you think about that?
I like DeSantis early, but he hasn't had the bump that he needed. I think he may have made a mistake early when he refused to go after Trump. Early on, he said he was not going to engage in that type of smear campaign. Unfortunately, that's what gets people elected these days, and I think he may have made a mistake, and I think it's a little too late for him to have the bump that it would take to overcome the massive lead that Donald Trump has right now.
Daniela, you watched the debate. Ron DeSantis did pretty well. A lot of people think he won. There were others there. What did you take from the debate, or Ron DeSantis specifically?
I think all the candidates, I think with the exception of Ron DeSantis, were acting very nervous and talking over each other. At some point, I had to turn off the TV because I couldn't watch them acting like children, in an out-of-control classroom where the teacher couldn't control. I like that he really handled COVID well. He didn't close schools here in New York City. We closed schools for so long. Yeah. The learning loss that our children are facing is so massive. And I agree with him. We need accountability for what happened because the impact, particularly in our children's learning, has been so huge, and we're not addressing that even today.
David, you didn't raise your hand for Biden or Trump, so that means you're still trying to figure this out, or maybe you have a candidate. But when Ron DeSantis says he believes he's the only Republican that can win the election, do you agree with that?
Well, the problem is that he never made the case. He never made the case as to why he could beat Trump. Everybody knows politically who knows Ron DeSantis knows that he's a policy wonk. He never leaned into his strength. So now he's paying the political price for not playing into his strength and really getting the message out there as to why he could beat Trump.
Quickly, what is his strength?
He knows policy. He has a broad coalition who can get support, and these are the things that he should have played into early on.
I want to move from DeSantis over to another candidate who may become an independent next week, but is the only one really challenging President Biden. So RFK Jr. teased an announcement as speculation swirls about an independent run. And it could spell disaster for Biden and Trump. This is from Mediaite, and it's exclusive. It says Robert F. Kennedy Jr. planning to announce independent run. So that's what they're reporting. We don't know. In his video, he just said it's a big announcement, and if you're going to come and support me, this is the place to do it. Looking at what he's really kind of carved out for himself, there are two topics, I think, that some liberals and some conservatives like. The one is funding the war in Ukraine, and the other one is vaccine and the way COVID was handled. Daniela, I want to go to you first. What do you think about his positions on those two issues?
I wanted us to continue supporting Ukraine. My husband's family became a refugee in Ukraine last year. They came here, they lost everything at the age of 85. And I just don't want to live in a world that is led by China and Russia. I want America to continue leading the world.
Looking at RFK Jr. and Ron DeSantis, which one would have a better chance of winning your vote from Biden?
I don't know. I need to learn more about RFK position on school choice. I think he's not pro-school choice, and I think this is so important for parents today. We want our kids to have a good school. We want to control on what our kids are learning, and if he's not pro-school choice, I would have to take another look at both candidates.
Patrick, you said that you are pretty much for President Trump at this point. Does RFK Jr. do anything for you?
He does. He's very interesting. But I realized a long time ago that the Democratic Party is never going to allow him. So his only avenue would be to go independent. And I feel in doing so, he's only going to strengthen whomever the Republican candidate ends up being. I believe he'll take more votes from Joe Biden than from a Republican.
David, final word to you. You're the guy that's not sure yet. If it is President Trump, President Biden, is RFK Jr. a viable option for you?
No, he's not a viable option for me, but I do find it interesting that his independent announcement is very smart. For one reason, on the short term, is that his campaign has picked up a lot of support on the right.
Yeah.
So for all the people on the right who don't feel comfortable voting for a Democrat, he's their guy.
So unlike Patrick, you think it could siphon from Trump just as much as Biden. I kind of agree with you there, but as we talked about earlier this morning, I don't know. I think Biden's in trouble with an RFK Jr. run. Listen, thank all three of you for being here. Insightful and honest responses. That's what we wanted. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.